I want to give a shout out to this person, and right now I am not taking any submissions, so please do remember that. But I will, if you do send me submissions, I will be writing them down and putting them in my book of me. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for listening. Goodbye, lovelies. Before we get started, I would like to say we do have a bunch of time skips in this story, so I do have to apologize for that. This is inspired by a YouTuber named Mayday, so hope you enjoy, and will be a little long, yeah, sorry, I'm kind of stumbled there. Alright, now let's continue. You were married to a villain, but the problem was that you were quirkless. But the real reason why you were married to him because of your beauty. Well, the problem is not yet. You were going to get married to him. You stood on the opposite side of the room to his family, more of just his father. Your mother technically sold you to his family. Why don't you go talk to each other? She said, shooing us out of the room. Now walking out of the room with the man you kind of hated the most, more than your mother for selling you to this man. Tomorrow will be the day when we get married. He spoke in a cold yet kindly tone. I spoke nothing. You know that, right? He said and looked at me. I nodded. I didn't want him to hear my voice, not even a bit. You know you can't keep quiet. You're going to have to talk at some point, he spoke. We now reached a flower garden with beautiful flowers of all kinds that were blooming. The pretty place made it look like it had taken ages. Those were planted this year. You heard him spoke. Now that you realized you didn't know his name, but he definitely knew yours. Don't act like you're a good person just for you to be rude to me, and if you do, I'm not that stupid. You puffed, not trying to cry, at the beauty of the flowers. God, I was done with that stupid act, he said. You turned to him. He looked pissed. You act like I didn't know it was one, you spat. It's not like we wanted this, he spat at me. What? I was told you picked me, I yelled back. Maybe if you'd listened to me, then you would know, he spat once more. I told you that on the way here, but you were so entranced with your thoughts you didn't hear me, he yelled. I didn't speak at all. All I did was look at him. Fine, then let's make a deal, I simply said. Once we get married, you stay in your own room, and same with me. I don't care if you get with someone, and you don't care if I get with someone else. Deal? I asked, taking out my hand so he could shake. Tomorrow, the wedding. You sighed. The woman doing your hair was almost done. You flat out hated this. Your mother was talking nonstop about grandchildren and how they would be so beautiful or so handsome. She kept going on and on about it. I think the woman doing my hair also hated how much she was talking. All right, hon, you done? You look gorgeous, she said. Her smile looked fake. So she hated me or was jealous? Good. Wait, what? What are you thinking? Never mind that. But now it was time to go. P.S. I have been to a wedding and have recorded the whole thing and kind of forgot some of the words, so have fun with my kind of remembrance. So yeah. You walked down the red carpet that was on top of a wooden floor. The chairs that the guests were sitting on made the carpet smaller smaller than it needed to be. Now at the end of the velvet, it looked to be expensive for sure. There you were, standing right next to him. And here the officiant spoke. Now let this wonderful day start. He was a chubby man who looked like he was drunk. Today is the day that Miss Lin and Mr. Todoroki will be forever together in matrimony, he continued. Shoto Todoroki, do you take Yin Lin as your wife, to care for her in sickness and in health, till death? He spoke. Yes, Todoroki spoke coldly. Yin Lin, do you take Shoto Todoroki as your husband, to care for him in sickness and in health, till death? He spoke to me. Yes, I spoke in a dead tone. It had been a couple days since that day. I hated it, but now I think I fell in love with that monster, a murderer, kidnapper, and even more. You walked out of your room that you didn't share with your now husband, but sometimes you wished. "Oh, there you are, Lady Yin," said one of the maids that worked in the house. "Do you know where my husband is?" I asked the girl. She gave a nervous "I need to have a word with him," I spoke in it with a cold tone. "Yes, my lady," she squealed out, in terror, probably by Todoroki in the first place. "Todoroki," I spoke as I walked into his office. "What do you want?" He spoke in a cold tone. I I was cut off by his words. "You started to love me, didn't you?" he questioned me. "Huh? How'd you know?" I spat. "Because I love you." He spoke in a kind tone. I I spoke, but my heart, I could hear my heart beat loudly. I'm sure he heard it too. His face was also red, like mine. It was now bedtime. We were in the same bedroom now. It was weird. Sitting on the bed, he was looking at me with a bashful smile. He looked like a little kid smiling at a present he's always wanted. He walked towards me and sat his arm on my shoulder. He pushed me down a bit and started to passionately kiss me. This felt off, but it was normal, and I loved it. "How dare you hurt her, you little shit," he snapped at a man who was sitting on his knees. They were bleeding of burns. The man was supposed to watch over you, but the man had cut you when you were out for a walk. You were behind one of the maids, patching up the deep cut. "Leave," he spoke to both of them. "Are you okay, Yin?" He spoke with a worried tone, kneeling down to your level. "You were in a chair." "Yes. But the real reason I came to tell you is, we're parents," he spoke out with a smile. "Haha, losers, I gave you a cliffhanger." I don't plan on making a second part, but if this gets a lot of second part, please, I will do it. But right now, my writer's block has been really terrible, so I'm not asking for any commissions if you heard from the beginning. So I hope you guys enjoy. Bye, lovelies. Oh, and by the way, I will finish the books that you guys have requested so far. So yeah, bye, lovelies. And sorry if I ramble a lot. You'll hear that a lot from me.